Cyber Friends. It's me, the man, coming at you again. Walker Studio, and we're here in Studio B, and we thank God as usual for life, health, and strength. Um, Thank you for as well as it is, and we thank God for all the cyber friends. You know who you are. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna forget about the cyber friends, the people that make it possible, the people that support you, the people that stand by you. All we want to give them an extra shout out, and we thank you for it. Today, or I should say tonight, I do want to. I want to back up on some things. Let about authenticity and being yourself. I did a video a while back. I think I put it on Facebook. I'm not for certain that I do it or not on, but I know I put it on YouTube. And it was about don't be a cheap copy of nobody. And I meant every word I said of people. Like I say, I try not to say anything that I don't mean. And if I don't mean it, in other words, I'm like this. If James Brown said something in a song that he made years ago about talking loud, saying nothing, and he made a reference to the guy that called him. I can't think of the title they gave that man, Mr. Loud and Nothing or something like that. They're loud, Mr. Loud and Nothing. I forget loud and doing, but in other words, James was speaking of if you don't mean it or something, don't be in it, don't get in it. Well, I was always I've been a big music fan of Quincy Jones for quite a few years. Ever since when I studied about him, learned about who he was and everything. Master musician and everything, and wrote a lot of music, film music, TV shows. I mean, you can see Quincy's name all over the place, and I've always been admired his stuff. In other words, then when he came and started producing Michael on the beginning album of Off the Wall and everything, and I noticed something about the being, like I said, don't be a cheap copy of yourself and mean what you be. Whatever you're gonna do, you ought to mean it. If you don't mean it, you ought to stay out of it. Don't get in it. I was listening to the song Thriller, and for a long time, even though I got a pretty good ear when it comes to music, I've got a pretty good doggone ear, but for a long time, for some reason, that Thriller, I played that song, well, at least the intro and everything. It's got a lot of stuff in it that not really fit for keyboard per se. But on the intro, you got a lot of diminished chords. That it made up a lot of diminished chords. Then when it hit the main statement of the song, Thriller, Thriller, in a long time, I played it in C minor. But good lo and behold, the song now is in C sharp minor. That's what it's written in. But I had naturally transposed it down a half step to C minor. Now, did my ear hear that? Of course it did. That's what my ear heard. I heard in C minor instead of C sharp minor. But when I further did deeper analysis, I found out that it was in C sharp minor. Now, those of you that know your music theory and everything, you know the best way to do this thing here is you can go to count half steps and whole steps and all that, but that's not the best way. If you know all of your keys, that's why I try to tell everybody, if you are a musician, you should know how to play in every key, or at least you should know how to make up the construction of every key and the scales that are associated with that key. Now, if you know anything about music theory to a degree, and if you know things about the relative minor key, relative minor. In the key of C, the relative minor is A minor, the sixth degree of the scale. So if you would take C sharp minor, find what the sixth degree of C sharp minor is, or C sharp. Find C sharp on your keyboard, and then go up a minor six from that down below it, and that will give you your major key, which is E major. E major is the major key. C sharp minor is the minor relative minor of E major. So if you wanted to play Thriller, if you know the key of E major, you can automatically play Thriller in C sharp minor. Remember, start on C sharp and play the E scale. Play the E major scale to the next C sharp. And there you go, C sharp minor. There go your whole key. In the key of E major got D sharp. Matter of fact, you got C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. Those are the four sharps in the key of E major. So you start on C sharp and play a E major scale from C sharp all the way to the next C sharp. That will be your C sharp minor scale. Lo and behold, Thriller. Why did I tell y'all that? Authenticity. I can play it in C minor. That's C minor, but that wouldn't be authentic. And for the original key, the original key is this. Now that is the original key, C sharp minor. And you can hear the difference. You can hear the difference. C sharp is a little bit brighter than C minor. C sharp minor is a little bit brighter than the C minor. You can tell it. See here? Hear that? It's a little bit darker than this. Hear that? It's a little bit brighter. So that is the difference between those two keys. One is a little bit brighter, a little higher. The other one, C minor, is a little bit lower. Now, that's MIDI Man theory for today. People, if you're going to be a cheap copy, you're robbing yourself. Let me tell you something, people. I've learned in these 57 years that I've lived, I have learned that you need to be, whatever you're going to be real about it. You cannot let people dictate how you deal and how you're going to live your life. And how you're going to deal with whatever you're going to be. Like I said, like James Brown says, you don't mean it, don't be in it. In other words, if you're going to do music, give it your all. If you're going to sing in the choir, give it your all. If you're going to play the drum, give it your all. Whatever you do, you need to give it your 100. If you got 200, give that too. Give 200% if necessary. But you cannot let other people dictate. Don't let people run your life. God gave you your life, and he also gave you free will. Now, if you want to do music, do music. But now remember, I told everybody, and I mean this to my heart, your lack of planning don't create an emergency for MIDI Man. Now, some people want you to do things according to the way they want you to do it. But wrong answer, baby. That's the wrong answer. No. That don't work with MIDI Man. Now let me back it up and come again. You will never. Now, if you really want to, see, like I said, I try to give everybody the benefit of a doubt. God knows I try to walk with you as long as I can. But when you start trying to dictate how I'm going to live my life, brother, sister, that's the wrong answer. That ain't going to happen. You're not going to tell me how to run my life. God gave me my life. In other words, that's how come I ain't never wanted to be nobody but me. I don't want to be nobody but MIDI Man. I don't want, like I say, a lot of times, look at life, how life is. Life, you don't know the future. You can't predict the future. But I'm just saying, we got a lot of people that have led tremendous lives as far as what I mean about accomplishments and stuff like I told y'all. I always have been a big fan of Quincy ever since I known him and known what he had done. I was a big fan of his music and everything. I loved what he done. But there can't be but one Q. I've never wanted to be nobody but me. Now I can't speak for everybody, but I'm just speaking for me, man. You cannot let other people run your life and dictate what you're supposed to do. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. It go from the top to the bottom. You don't let anyone dictate and tell you how to run your life. Do y'all know God don't even do that? Yes, I meant that. God himself, the supreme, the master of the universe, that he made us and he don't make us do anything. Have you ever noticed that? So now why would you let me force you to do anything? And I ain't nowhere nothing near the majesty and the power of God. And God is the one created us and he don't make us do anything. So why would you sit there and let somebody else? You don't have enough brains to think for yourself that you got to let other people lead you into something? No. Wrong answer, people. That's why I did that example there about Thriller. The original kid, C sharp minor. I had heard it in C minor and did it in C minor. What I did, I dropped it 1/2 step lower. Now guess what? Yes, someone could still sing Thriller in C minor. They're just singing a little bit lower than what Michael did in C sharp. Because I just told you C sharp is just a little brighter. It's a little higher than C minor. But is it the authentic key that the song was created? No, it was C sharp minor. So now what do that mean? I can't play it in C minor? Of course not. Of course not. I can still play it in C minor. But it won't be the authentic key. Understand, people. We must learn to stop trying to be copied off other people, trying to follow and want it to. It's a dangerous thing to want to be like somebody else. You need to be yourself. In other words, I saw a movie. It was about this here man that's supposed to be Damian Thorne. He was playing the guy named, he played in a movie a long time ago called Logan's Run. I forget that star name right now. I can't call it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't call his name. But those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know the actor that played Logan Run. He also played the Antichrist. He played Damian Thorne. And his daddy was a very big multi-million billionaire and everything, owned a lot of the trans satellites and stuff like that. And he also had a baby brother named David. I think his name was David. He became to be the president of the United States after his brother Thorne, they called him Thorne, but at any rate, David's father told him something that I ain't never forgot on that movie when he was trying to say he wanted to be like his brother. And his dad said, no, son, it's better to be yourself. Be yourself. Don't want to be like nobody else. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something about that if you want to think about it. And I'm not trying to be critical. I ain't trying to be hard on none of you. But I'm just saying, this is me, man. This is where I live my life. Let me just tell you something. There are many people that was in the music industry that have passed on that I like. James Brown, I told y'all, one of my favorites. James Brown, one of my favorite entertainers, musician, masterman. Ray Charles also. But guess what? What if I wanted to be like them? I'd be gone right now, wouldn't I? See what I mean? It's best to be yourself. Now, like I said, all of us, if Jesus delay his coming, I know people don't like to talk about that, but you might as well face the reality, baby, because death is certain. Death is certain just like you born. We are born in this world. On the day you are born, you are dying. You're on your road to the graveyard. The day you were born, you were dying then. So you might as well get ready for that, because if Jesus delay is coming, we all going by the grave. But now there are some of us that will not see death according to the Bible, because Christ gonna one day return. hopefully very soon. But I'm just saying it's just better to try. Don't never want to be like somebody else. Get that out your mind. But you take that gift that God done put in you, and you be the best you that you can be. Don't be a cheap copy of nobody, and don't let nobody dictate to you how you live your life. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. Don't nobody have that right. The only somebody have that right, and he didn't do it, was God himself. Now, God could have made us behave. Yes, he could have, but he didn't. He didn't. Take pattern after that. If God didn't make me do it, how can you? No, God gave us free will. So don't you ever start letting people dictate to you, telling you who you supposed to like, who you supposed to talk to, who you can't talk to, and then they try to make you feel bad because of the person whom you might lend a helping hand or reach out to. You do what you want to do. You can't control nobody else's life. It's called self-control. He didn't give you the control of nobody else. You can control yourself. Point blank. Now, I know y'all saying, well, man, I mean, you told about Thriller. Yes, I did. I sure did, to show you the authenticity of keys between one and another one. How one key can take you up a little higher, one can take you a little lower. But nevertheless, both of them can be the same. In other words, C minor, if I play Thriller in C minor, it wouldn't be wrong. But it won't be in the original key. If Michael wanted to sing that song all over again, he would be listening for C sharp minor. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to get everybody to see. Midi Man gonna do what he's supposed to do. I try to do the best I can in the Lord, because see, I know what he gave me, and that's all I can do. I can't do anything that God didn't put in me. I can't do it. I can't be you. You cannot be me, and then you shouldn't want to be. I told you don't want to be a cheap copy of nobody else. We already had a Ray Charles. We don't need another Ray Charles. Let's be better than Ray Charles. You understand? Let's bring something a little to the table, a little better than Ray Charles, bro. Let's bring something a little bit better than Michael did. Now, no one has ever topped Michael Jackson Thriller. Him and Quincy Jones. The Thriller album has outdone any other musical composition in the history of music. But guess what? History is still in the making. That don't mean that somebody else cannot beat that. It just means ain't nobody done it yet. And then people say, well, I don't think nobody will. Well, you know, everybody got a right to think what they want to think. I'm not going to think that way. I believe somebody can beat it. If they apply themselves to what, it ain't about beating nothing, no way. They're just saying, don't ever think, well, you know what? Thriller wasn't the number one hit of the world until it became the number one hit. Nothing never happened until it happened. So how do you know if you are a musician or a producer like Quincy? Whatnot? How do you know that the next person that you try to help and deal with and produce them, how do you know your record or album or LP or CD or MP3 or whatever it might be, how do you know that yours may not be in that same status as Thriller was back in 1983? I was going to Andrews College in 1983. I remember when Thriller came out. No one thought that it was going to do what it did, but it did. And it still is. It's still the most selling album in the history of music. No one else did what Chris and Michael did with that. You know, they attributed it to Michael and everything. But Michael had a lot of support in the background of that album, people. Oh, yeah. It was some great people played on that album. See, you need to read, you need to understand, you need to read sometimes and you need to enhance your mind and go back and study that who was all that was in the making of that Thriller album. It was a lot of people in the making of that album, some great people that knew what they were doing. From the engineer Bruce Sweden, Quincy Jones producer, Greg Fillingham, that master keyboard player, I can't think his name, J.R. Brown, I think it's Brown or Jackson. But anyway, Paul Jackson on guitar, Greg Fillingham on keyboards and everything. This guy JR on drum, and the Picasso guy, I forget his name, on the bongos. And it was a lot of greats on that album. So, you know, but Michael was the artist. So we give Michael the credit. But it was a lot of people on that list, baby, Remember that. Remember that. We're not trying to take anything away from none of them, but all of them contributed to the greatness of that Thriller album. And then a lot of people claim that it was occultic. I saw the video. I ain't foolish. I saw the video. I remember when they were making the video. Like I said, I was going to Andrew College at that time. And a music major, of course I know what was going on. And then came, right behind that came We Are the World, in other words. That was the #1 selling record of all time, made a lot of money for the Relief of Africa, USA for Africa, they called it. I remember when they was in the studio with that. Matter of fact, I got a buddy right now that I used to be with on occasion. We used to have, he's a Grammy Award winning engineer himself named Khalik Glover. I used to be in the room with Khalik now. We used to do about once a week, sometimes twice a week. We would all be in the room together when Khalik will host these things on occasion with the different stars. I've been right there in the room with me. We have, Khalik would have Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone. See, all that, I've been right there with Ricky Lawson, the great drummer. I've been right there with them. Had the opportunity to sit there and talk. Matter of fact, when Michael died, we were all had a great celebration on Khalik Glover's site. We was all in there together with Clarence and all of the one that wrote the strings from Michael Jackson tune for the I believe it was oh man. Oh boy, that string, that signature lick at the beginning of Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. The same guy that wrote those strings, I was sitting in the exact room with me, Khalik Glover, and all the friends gathered together to give Michael Jackson a farewell, peaceful farewell during the time when he passed away. All of that, that makes me glad to know that there's always going to be somebody that's gonna tilt the balance just a little bit. You should never want to be like somebody else, but be yourself. See, I can be earning better than anybody can. Guess how come? Why? Because I am Ernest. I'm Mitty Man. You're not Mitty Man. You try to be me, you're going to mess up somewhere. You might get away with it for a little while, but somewhere along the line, the people that really know Mitty Man, they're going to know you a copy. If they know me well enough, they're going to know you a copy because you're going to mess up somewhere. That you're going to do something that Mitty Man ain't going to be known to do. And the people that really know Mitty Man will know, you're not Mitty Man, period. You can only be yourself. To my brothers and sisters, God is a good God. And he have done marvelous things. And he has given all of us talents and gifts. Some of us just don't know them. Or some of us about to lose our life out open. We still don't know what we were put here to do. That's a sad, sad way to be. That's a sad, but guess what? Ain't nothing I can do about it. It is nothing I can do for a person that sit back and they don't want to do nothing. They ain't got no aspiration, no goal. You wasting breath that somebody else could be using, really. But that's another story. I'm not going to even go into that. But remember what I said, people. Don't be a cheap copy of no one, and just remember. Live your own life. Don't let nobody dictate to you and make you walk on cotton. Those type of people, is best for you to just let them go. Let them alone. If they're going to try to dictate who you supposed to talk to, who you supposed to do, well, no, you're nothing but a robot. I'm not going to live that life that way. So people, really think about it and be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. You don't have to hurt anybody's feelings, but let them know, I am not going to be a cheap copy of nobody. This is Mitty Man saying whatever you get into. If God ain't in it, best you come out of it because it's going to come to nothing. Believe it. Till the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first. This is Mitty Man saying peace. Good night.